Hi, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie,
And I'm my husband, Glenn.
and he's my husband, Glenn.
And before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. Tonight we're reviewing Married at First Sight Decision Day and the Married at First Sight reunion. And let's say this. It went by real fast
It really did.
on Peacock. I don't know if you guys thought so. Let me know in the comment section below. It went by real fast. It seemed like this whole season, Peacock was like, you know what? We're taking out this, we're taking out this, we're taking out this. We're not giving no fluff. No fluff. We get hit straight to the point, right? We're going straight to the point. But now we're going to review Married at First Sight Decision Day as well as the reunion. So let's get started. We see Josh and Jalyn, I believe, was the first one up to bat, right? Yeah, one of those couples. Anyway, Josh and Jalyn was the first one up to bat. And they talked about how their relationship was going and how they like each other, how they care about each other, how they didn't really have any issue except for the fact that, you know, the whole Burning Man situation.
I don't understand why that's such a thing. Okay.
It's a thing because she's not adventurous. He is very adventurous, and he wants her to be in his life or be part of what he's doing. And she was just like flat out no at that point, right? She was at the point she was like flat out no. And he's like, I really want to. It meant so much to him. And she didn't want to give in any substance or giving in a little bit.
I'm still, yeah. I just don't see why that's such a thing.
From her side or his side?
In their relationship, period. But yeah, so they was all like, oh, I so appreciate her. It was all butterflies and rainbows. Other than that.
Easy. But both Josh and Jalyn said they would continue their marriage on decision day. Experts were happy. They thought this was an easy peasy relationship that really had no major issues. I mean, they talked about that.
And they worked through them. That was his thing. We did have some, some bumps or whatever, but we worked through them.
Yeah, they worked through the issues. They worked through the things that they needed to work through. And at the end of the day, they said yes.
Mm-hmm.
They said yes. Then we move. I'm not going in order. I can't remember the order. But then we move on to Rhonda and Pat. Pat, Rhonda and Pat both get in, both sitting there, and you can tell something's wrong with Pat. Pat is like, he's sitting separated from Rhonda. Mm-hmm. He got his legs crossed, hands on his knee, and he's like, you know what? And Rhonda picked it up. She's like, oh, his decision's already made.
She's like, I could tell by the way he sat down, he's not touching me. He's over there. He's got his hands on his lap. That lets me know that, he's not feeling good about saying a yes, basically. And so they were like, is she right? And he was like, yeah. He basically was like, I'm kind of going through it over here.
I'm on, he's in the middle. He was like, I don't know which way to go because I really care about her. But at the same time, I gotta look out for myself. Mm-hmm. And I haven't never looked out for myself. And I've looked out for other people, and I'm taking care of other people. And I'm looking out. I gotta look out for me. I gotta make me basically. I gotta make me happy, right? I have to make me happy, and that's what he was saying. So the experts chimed in here because Pat was gonna say no. The experts really kind of, in my opinion, they really made this man say yes. They kind of convinced him. I mean, you can tell they was there for a long time, where they were sharing each other's feelings, and he started to express things about Rhonda. Rhonda started to express things about him, and ultimately Pat was like, "Well, I'm gonna give it a try." Mm-hmm. And Rhonda said she wasn't for sure. Like, do I want to give it a try because you came in here and said no?
And yes, and her thing is, when she first came in there, she was secure and sure about her decision, but the way he presented himself and his unsurety in that space, in that moment, she was like, nah, I don't know. I kind of want to change my thing. And her thing to him was, follow your heart. Mm-hmm. Be true to yourself. Follow your heart.
And he followed his heart. And his heart was like,
I don't think so.
I can't remember. He went first in that one. I told you, my thing is I always like to see the couples go off and figure out yes or no. But and when we get to Will and Brittany, I'll tell you why. But He said yes, and then she said yes, and Pat and Rhonda
I
stayed.
just knew she was gonna say no
Pat and
in
Rhonda
that
said married.
moment.
I thought in that moment she was gonna say no too.
Yes.
After he was real hesitant, and as he was still slow with his answers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was gonna change her mind and say no. You know what? You wasn't sure when you came in here, and I'm not sure now. I don't want to be with you.
Right.
So I really thought that's what she was gonna do in the midst of their conversation. So Pat and Rhonda both said yes.
So
After a little,
are you keeping track? So right now we're 2 for 2. Remember, it's got 5
right.
couples.
After a little bit of encouragement from the experts, they both said yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then we went on to we have Belynda and Chad, right? Belynda expressed her uncertainty, right, by choosing. She expressed her uncertainty. She expressed how volatile Chad could be. How she don't like Chad being mean or being nasty to people.
Mm-hmm.
How Chad will go off at production. And she wasn't really sure if she wanted to be with Chad because it triggered a lot of things from her past relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Which mean, I know you asked a question about her ex-husband. How does he feel about the show?
Yeah, I wonder how he feel.
Because Jalyn and Belynda kept talking about things that he would do in the past.
But Belynda said it more so, and so I'm just curious. I wonder, did he have to go? No. I know what they said. That's not me. Or is he in a space where he can acknowledge, yeah, it wasn't the best,
Mm-hmm.
and no, we weren't. It was kind of toxic because that's how she said it. Like, it was toxic.
Yeah.
It was just a teenage love that they just carried on. When I don't even say a teenage relationship, because I think she said that too. Yeah. It wasn't really a lovey thing, but
because Jalyn said she never really saw her parents show affection.
Right. So I did. I said, I wonder how he feel about being cast in that light, because he can't defend him. He couldn't defend himself.
He couldn't.
It had to be what they said. But anyway, yeah.
Chad really wanted to be with Belynda, right?
Oh yeah, mind you, he came in with some flowers.
They was matching colors. I like, yes. Okay, they had red tie. He matching, she was matching. I'm like, oh, they about to both say yes. But she really was unsure. Mm-hmm. This is a couple I wish they had separated to give their answers. Mm-hmm. Because Chad came in, he got on one knee, he gave her the flowers, and asked her, can you,
will you still be married to me?
Will you still be married to me? Remain married to me? And Belynda hesitated for a minute. Mm-hmm. And as she thought, and I feel like, and you can see the wheels turning, like, do I want to embarrass this man in front of all these people? Do I want to, to break his heart? Well, it really wasn't that bad. He had this issue. You can see her process in her mind all the things at that moment. And so at that moment, she decided to say yes to stay married to Chad. Mm-hmm. She wanted to stay married to Chad. And I, like I said before, if they would have answered outside of like the experts writing on a card, like the old Newlywed Game, I believe Belynda would have said no.
I do too.
In my heart of heart, I believe Belynda would have said no, but because I don't want to call it love bombing, and kind of is like he love bombed her throughout this relationship. But when he came and got on the knee and gave the flowers and all that, she was like, okay. And I'm thinking, like, based off of what happened in her past relationship, this is not the first time that somebody given her flowers and said, sorry, I apologize, give me another shot, let me do it, I'll promise you I'll do better, we'll do over again. So it seemed as if she was repeating a pattern that she had seen in her relationship with her ex-husband. So,
but Chad committed to putting in the necessary work and for them to get it together. So,
but that was Chad's biggest thing anyway, because Chad was like, I want to see this work when the cameras are gone.
Yes.
His biggest thing was, when the cameras are gone, this is not real life to me. This is not real life. So I was wanting to see everything when everything.
And I think that's the other thing he said too. He talked about, I realized how much I was not in control.
Yeah.
And he didn't really like that too much.
He didn't like not being in control.
He didn't like that too much. So he really wanted to get outside of that so I could be back in control.
So so they both say yes.
Now we're 3 for 3.
And then we go on to track. Meghann and Derrek, right? And this was real quick because when you was watching,
I looked away 1 second. I was like, what that?
Right. So Meghann and Derrek both come out. They tell the experts that she was having a baby. Now, look, okay. I'm sorry, y'all. You're trying to tell me that these 3 experts find out everything else about these couples. Production tells them everything else that is going on.
I found it hard to believe, dude.
But they did not know that this girl was pregnant. No one told Pastor Cal. No one told Dr. Pepper. No one told Dr. Pia. They were all surprised that she was pregnant. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Y'all know everything else about.
Glenn, you think they can act that good?
Jackie?
Pastor Cal genuinely looked surprised, like, oh.
I don't. There's no way that they did not know.
Maybe it was the same way they did Megan's mom. You know, when Megan's mom got the box, she was like, y'all play too much. So maybe somebody presented it to them and they was like, yeah, okay, sure. That's what I think. If anything, I think if somebody slipped up and told them, I think they was like, okay.
They tell them everything else. They know what's going on with the couple. They know the relationship.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I think they probably didn't believe it. You're like, y'all play too much.
You know, Pastor Cal happy. Oh, this is a married at first sight first. Dapped my man up, gave him a big hug, and you know they was excited, and then asked them what they want to do on decision day, and they both say yes. That's how quick it was.
I mean, I literally. If you haven't, I was like,
yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch. That was the quickest decision day answer I've ever seen.
Which goes back to, let me just say this real quick. Which goes back to what you said, how Peacock has taken the fluff out, and I just feel like I need some fluff. In all of these decisions, I feel like I need the fluff. Like I was just like, gosh, this just went so fast. I'm used to them really talking through it, and you know, just
Peacock like we ain't having it. We got an hour. We got a time on the show. We want it to be 45 minutes, and we want it to be an hour. It's gonna be an hour. Doggone it. It's gonna be an hour. Then we get to Will and Brittany, right? Will and Brittany. And I really want to know, and then, well, I guess they did go in order. I'm not gonna say they go in order because I'm not gonna say that they went in order. I think they cut the last part in, and I'll tell you what part I think they put in. All right. Will and Brittany, we know we left off on the last episode that Will had called Brittany and told Brittany that his answer on decision day was no.
Mm-hmm.
That he felt like it wasn't going to work out, that they didn't need to be married, and it was basically unhealthy, and it was a no. It was a no for him, you know.
And that's where it started with Brittany still kind of reeling from he called me and told me he was going to say no. Like,
yeah, what?
And it starts with Will, you know, on his way to the transportation to the area, like still, you know, it hurt me to have to tell her that, but I had to be real about the space that I was in, you know, and going into it, he was like, I mean, I already told her no. So
let it be what it is. It's
Brittany's thing was, she said she thought about not going, but she wanted to speak up and she wanted to say her piece.
And she gets there. And as she gets there,
he got there first.
Well, he got there first.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, asked what was going on. He told the expert, look, I called Brittany and I told her that I didn't want to be married to her anymore. And they knew that. See, that's why I think they knew about him calling her and telling her no. So you telling me you didn't know about Derrek and Meghann, but I'm not going to digress. Anyway. But so then they get back together. Brittany comes out and she starts sharing, you know, what has happened. And
she didn't really share what was happening, but what she shared with him was she basically apologized. If I didn't let you know how much I appreciate you, if I didn't know how much I like who it is that you present yourself as, you know, if I made you feel a type, she was very apologetic. And can I be real with you? I felt like
no, at that point he needed to hear that. He needed to hear her say, because that was his issue. You always gave me the negative. You never gave me the affirmation. You wanted me to give you affirmation, but you wasn't giving me the affirmation. You wasn't telling me that I was doing right. You told me I wasn't enough. That was his thing.
She didn't though.
But that was his thing. In his mind, he heard that he wasn't enough. And so he was like, dang, what else can I do? I can't win. And he felt like he couldn't win in the situation. And so he needed to hear those things. And I think sometimes women forget men are human as well, right? Men are vulnerable as well. Men need to hear affirmation as well. And so if a man who wants to hear affirmation, who want to hear, what you did a great job, or whatever case may be, it's okay, because he said if she had said all that stuff during the relationship, during their 8 weeks, they would have been better off. But she didn't say that until the fact that she thought, oh, this man is gone. Like, my thing was like, why couldn't you say this during the relationship? Why couldn't you share the way that you was feeling towards him, and you had him guessing? Now, he could have said something else of like, hey, this, and he could have said something else, or made her, or asked her, hey, to say this, but he's gone. Now you teary-eyed and you want to say all the things that he needed to hear during the relationship. And I'm not saying he shouldn't have said things to her neither. Oh, I'll let you go. I got you. Hold on. Point on the speaker. But she needed to hear some things, and he needed to hear some things. But I'm done. I'll let you go.
It's like, gosh.
Yeah, I went on my tangent.
Yeah. This is what I mean. I don't have a problem with her saying this to him because he needed to hear it. But I just felt like it was just so much. It was just so much. And I feel like the more she said it, the more it worked. She got herself worked up. And that's what I mean. That's why I feel like, okay, Brittany, you talking yourself into a teary, so I was just like, you working yourself up. That's what I mean by, did he need to hear it yet? But honestly, I feel like she did say it to him. She just didn't say it in a way that he understood.
Well, if you don't say it to the way that I can understand it,
or
not him or me, but him to understand it, to him, it wasn't said. So same way she wanted him to affirm her as much as she wanted him to affirm her, he needed it as well. And it wasn't being reciprocated. And so he was like, hey, I don't need to go through this. I like her. I love her. She's a nice person. I think his biggest thing too was on the boat. I think he shared with the experts. She was telling me how to love, or explaining to me love. Like, you're battling what I think love is. You want to change my mind what love is to what you want love to be. And that's what I don't think love is.
But to your point, again, same thing. Okay, but if your partner receives love in that way, or sees love like that,
right? But
yes,
don't tell me I'm wrong. Don't tell him. His thing was, don't tell me I'm wrong. That, okay, now I take mental note. This is how you would perceive love, and this is how you want me to love you. But here is what I think love is, so I need you to love me that way. And so I think a lot of times where in this relationship there was no submitting to one another, and they both had their views, and it wasn't where it needed to be. And that's why he was emotionally involved. He was crying. He was crying. He felt what she was saying was genuine, and he made him question, did I make the right decision or not? And with the experts there, you saw Dr. P start crying, and Dr. Pepper was crying, Pastor Cal wiping their eyes, because what she said was emotional. Like, I see what she's getting, and he felt like, okay, dang, I already told you no, and I've hurt you, but at the same time, thank you for doing this, because this is what I needed. And he's crying because she's crying. What?
No, I was just saying, me too.
Oh, you was crying?
I was like, why is my face wet? I don't know. It was something. But even in that moment, I think it was apparent to me what it was that, remember, her thing was, she's the emotional connection. I think even in that space, I'm not saying you gotta have an ugly cry face, but I was a little caught up. I was like, are those tears coming down his face? Because if I was just looking at his face, I could tell. Meaning, like, his face didn't change at all.
But you can see the head of Denzel Washington.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. which goes to like that was her thing. Like that every episode is succinct and verbose. We got that will, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like even in that space, like it was emotional for her, and I just he dropped the tears. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what did you expect? Everybody had those emotions different. Because if I'm not
and I think that was part of the thing.
If I'm not boo-hooing, but tears are flowing out my eyes, that's an emotion. I don't have to say it where my facial expression doesn't have to change. I think when you see men or people see men cry, they expect it to be a certain way. If this man is sitting here crying because she's sharing words with him, then he's emotionally there's something emotionally going on.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I'm just telling you that what went through my mind. I was like, but he still looks so stiff with it. That's what I'm saying.
He's trying to keep. First of all, I think he will realize that he was on national TV, and he realized I need to keep my composure. I don't need to go off. I need to keep who I am because at the end of the day, I still have to do my job or whatever else I am, what I'm doing after this. So let me maintain my composure while on TV, but I'm still feeling what she's saying and I'm still feeling the love because I do have genuine care for her, but I can't keep going through this roller coaster that I go through each and every day or every week because it can get tiring from his standpoint. Her asking every day, if today was a decision day, what you would say? If today was a decision day, what would you say? If you need that much affirmation every day on decision day, then we need what am I doing?
Well, I mean, it wasn't much different from him. You just went through he needed that much affirmation too.
But no, he needed to be told that he was doing something right.
Is that not affirmation?
It is, but he didn't need it every day. She was kind of when you keep asking me, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? It makes a person seem as if I'm not loving you enough. So what else can I do to love you enough if I feel I'm giving everything I got? He felt like he was giving everything he got, and she's still asking, do you love me? Do you love me? What are you gonna say on decision day? And he was like, I'm exhausted. Like again, you think I'm not enough? So what am I? And then what am I doing? So he was like, I gotta check.
Like I said before in one of the previous reviews that we did, we have patterns and ways of thinking and that in 8 weeks not going to change. You see what I'm saying? Because that's why I said we're not going to break his lack of expression of emotion, even though he's saying it. You know what I'm saying? Because that was her thing. We're not going to break her how he had cut off the sexual part. She's not going to undo how that is interpreted to her in 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of behaviors that they receive certain ways that's their way. It's not going to break in 8 weeks.
Right. Well, that's why you have the therapists there or the experts there, quote unquote, to help them do that. Right. I didn't see as many therapy sessions that we have seen in the past. The experts should have been walking this couple through because I think they could have made it if they was walking through the walking along with them and sharing with them, hey, we need you to do this exercise. We need you to do this exercise. Learn how to communicate with her. This is what she needs. This is what he needs. And this is where their conversation comes in because they're two individuals. They come out of separate families, separate homes, different relationships. She hasn't been in any relationship longer than 3 months. That's a problem, right? Why not? She leads with her body. She led with her body, right? She was giving her body away. And now she's feeling insecure because at the point where she thought she might have been pregnant or they didn't take precaution, he took it off the table. He didn't know how to communicate with her and make her feel safe in that moment when he took it off the table. So she felt like, oh, you don't care about me. Mm-hmm. So again, there's a communication that gets involved. There's how to talk to each other that needs to be involved. How do we deal with disagreements that need to be involved? I think the expert kind of failed this couple because I think this couple could have worked if they had more hands-on experts. Because look what happens in here when the experts are there. They make this dude change his mind. Right.
Well, they didn't make him.
He
What
walked.
we did get to see is he was like, I just don't know. I need a moment.
I need a moment.
And he literally walked away
Right.
to have his moment to think it over.
And I think in that moment, and in my heart now, when he walked away, I knew he was going to come back and say yes. I knew he was. There's no way he was going to walk by and make that and hurt that girl, hurt that woman on national TV and be like, you know what, you shared your tears, I shared my tears, and come back and say no. He wasn't going to do it. When he walked away, I said, oh, this man is about to say, I want to say Bama, but I ain't going to say Bama. This Bama about to say, this Bama about to say, he's about to change his decision. I think I said that when I was on a panel discussion with Coach. I'm like, yo, I wish if whatever he does, if he told her no that morning, it should be no that afternoon. Because what changed? What
changed is what he said. He said the fact that she said in that moment what she said. And he said, I wish you had said this before. Which I said she did say it before, but it wasn't in a way that he could completely receive it.
But it's like that though, because
again, I know.
I think couples, people, relationships, there's things that has to be laid out blatantly, have to be shared blatantly. People in relationships are not Miss Cleo. They're not mind readers, right? When you're in a marriage, you can't be a mind reader. When you're dating somebody, you can't be a mind reader. You can't assume. I think things that are unspoken get misinterpreted. So you have to be able to give that to your spouse, have to give that to your whoever you're dealing with, and lay it out on the table and mean exactly what you're saying. Give them exactly what they're looking for. If she would have gave that, they would have been different. And that's why he can say.
And that's why I said, and the same was true for her.
Same is true for her. It's both ways. He should have opened up and gave more because he was the one. Nobody wants the one word answer, right? Nobody wants the high intelligence up here when you should be meeting her on a level where she's at. Not saying she's not intelligent, but giving it to her the way that she would like to receive. And so it was, again, goes back to why the expert didn't get involved and help this couple out as much as they needed to. So, well, Will and Brittany said yes. So they celebrate, and they said 5 out of 5. Now, that part seemed cut to me. I don't know, Will and Brittany went early in the morning, but either way, on the episode, Will and Brittany was the last one, and they said, oh, that's 5 for 5. They could have been talking about something. I don't know. It's 5 couples, but I don't think all 5 couples should have said yes. It's 5 couples because I think we talked about on the last review. Brittany and Will should have said no, in my opinion. My opinion, Chad and Belynda should have said no. Only couples I thought was going to say yes was Derrek and Meghann and Josh and Jalyn. The other couples, I was like, no. It should have been 2 out of 3. 2 out of 5, excuse me. 2 out of 5. But that's decision day. Let's move on to the reunion, right? Man, we get to the reunion. we get to the reunion, and you can tell there's a little bit of tension. Kevin has all the girls on one side, all the guys on the other side. And I like the set. I like the Peacock spent a little bit of money. I like the set on this Married at First Sight. But I do notice there was some difference. We never get to talk to the experts. Like they've done in the past on Lifetime. Though not talking to the experts. This was just talking to the couples themselves. And Kevin didn't waste any time.
Well, that was the difference too. Usually we see maybe everybody in one setting. Then we'll see each couple individually. We've seen it where he just talked to the women. We've seen it where he just talked to the men. This was everybody in there at the same time, going through their
stuff. So we Josh and Jalyn, right? Josh and Jalyn. We see Jalyn talked about she did go on. She did go to Burning Man with Josh. She stayed the whole 14. Was it 14 days or 10 days? She stayed the whole 10 days. She had a great time.
We saw some pictures. We saw some videos.
Had a great time. Enjoyed herself. Stayed up till like 4 or 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the morning. She embraced all of it. And he was like, oh, I didn't think she would show up. It meant a lot to me that she was there. And, she was really into it. And then 3 months later, he breaks up with her. Like, why they were on vacation? Just like out of the blue. I can't take it. And he breaks up with her. And she said even then she tries to work it out and try to go back with him. And it felt almost kind of like desperate type mode where she was like begging for him to stay. You know, she said she didn't see it coming. Didn't see it coming at all. Don't know.
And this is what he said. He said we actually didn't break up on vacation. It was after the fact. And so she clarified, no, you did tell me, like you said, you did tell me then, but I was like, let's try to work this out. Mm-hmm. Let's try to work on it. And that's when he was like, nah. No.
And then they got back together. Then they went to a club or a party, a function, whatever the case may be. And a woman comes up to him like she knew him. And I don't know if he lied about not knowing a woman, but she kind of knew. And she said, well, did you F her? And what she said F for, he was like.
That was funny, too, because she was like, I asked him, did he have sex with her? And he was like, no. You asked me, did I F her?
It's the same thing.
It's a different kind of oomph behind the way he said it.
Yeah. And so
if she said it that way instead.
Then they basically told her, get herself and go home. Get out.
Now, mind you, Josh and Jalyn, they had been together. The reunion is a year and a half after Decision Day. Like, they have been together for a lot of that time.
Yeah. And so they were gone.
She was preparing to do Burning Man again.
Mm-hmm. She was
go with him to Burning Man again. And she's like, I mean, completely out of the blue.
And he gives the reasoning. I know you roll your eyes. He gives a reason because she was an adventurous, and he wanted somebody to agree with everything that he agreed with.
She was like, how the freak was I not adventurous? I did the stuff on the honeymoon. I did Burning Man. I was prepared to do a Burning Man again. He went to this. He went to that. Like, I was there. I came out of my comfort zone. And I just was like, this is lame. You broke up with the girl because she's like a 2 out of 10 on the adventure scale. And I need somebody that's on a hot.
I believe. And then they saw him out he was the one at the club kissing somebody else?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody took a picture, a snapshot, whatever, sent her, or Megan sent one of the other girls a picture of Josh out with another woman.
Well, no, in the video.
In the video.
Them like bunned up.
Bunned up, yeah. Hey, he told her to leave, confirming he confirmed their separation. He saw there's another woman involved. And he tried to defend himself the whole time. You asked her to leave. She didn't ask you to leave. Mm-mm. So, again, Josh and Jalyn are not together. So, 1 out of the 5 already divorced.
I want to go back a little bit.
Go ahead, back up.
Because I thought it was fun. The way Kevin put it out there, he was like, oh, that big pretty ring you had, I noticed it's not on your finger. I was like, he didn't do it to nobody else.
No. Well, Josh spent a lot of money in that ring.
He did to her. But what's his name bought Chad bought Belynda a ring too. Belynda ring That's too. What I'm saying. And he didn't say it like that to her.
Nah, but so Josh and Jalyn not together. Kaput. Done. Over. Finito. All right. Will.
Oh, let me say this.
Go ahead.
And he's dating somebody else.
He didn't want to be with her. I mean, it was
lame old reason to break up with that lady.
He didn't want to be
like you did. Right. I'm just rude. He was nasty and so rude.
So rude, right? Decision day, right? Well, again, reunion. Will and Brittany both said yes on decision day. Will mentioned that after decision day, he went right out of town. Had to go to work, do a work trip right out of town, so they didn't really have time to discuss or navigate the decision day. So he went right out of town. Well, when Will comes back off of decision day, he was like, no, I'm not doing this. I don't want to be with you. And he said that he felt, I don't want to say forced. I don't even say obligated. He got caught up in the emotion of what was going on. And he said yes. And when he really meant, no, I didn't want to do this anymore. All right. And Brittany said she felt like while he was gone that he was going to come back and say no.
Mm-hmm.
She felt in her heart, I guess, because there was no communication, there was no talking while he was going on the trip, and she felt like the disconnect had really taken place, and it was there.
And so we got to see a video camera in the apartment when this all kind of went down. They're on the couch talking about it, and he was snappy. He was snappy with her. She was like, "No, can we talk about it?" And he might as well have mushed her in her forehead.
But I get what he did, and I get what he's saying. He like, I had to be straightforward. I had to be honest, straightforward. He wanted to let her know that there's no chance of us getting back together. Because if I say it in a nice way, if I say it sweet, if I say it kind, that still gives you hope that they may be part of the relationship. Not saying I agree, just saying that I understood where he was coming from. He like, I wanted to be frank. I want to be upright, straightforward. Like, hey, this is not gonna happen. She was begging and like, hey, please don't. Let's try. We didn't try. At that point,
because they still really hadn't tried.
He didn't want to try.
I know. I'm not saying that he wants to.
Yeah.
But that's what she was saying. Like when we left decision day, we said we were gonna try, and her thing was we didn't try.
Because he lied on decision day. He got caught up in the emotion and said yes. Right? He didn't step back and say, you know what, his true answer in his heart of hearts was no. And he should have stuck with his no.
Well, needless to say, so after he walked out the apartment that day, like I said, he might as well have mushed her in her forehead to move her out the way. And after that day, she tried to reach out to him. I think she said call and text him. He blocked her.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany went old school because she wanted to speak her piece. She wanted to, communicate with him. So she dropped a letter off. This reunion is a year and a half later. Like, she haven't talked to him.
No, none.
In a year. So the question was, so did you read the letter that she gave you? He said no. I said, God, dog.
He said, well, the people at the apartment said she'd be around there all the time. Which
he tried to say like she's stalking me.
But we found out that Meghann lives in the same. With Jalyn, it was Jalyn or
Jalyn.
Jalyn lives in the same apartment, so she's visiting.
Because she was like, no, I have not been back to your place.
Right.
But he really did you get that? He said it like she be stalking
like
me.
She was stalking him, yeah. Like have people on the lookout for you. Like if this girl comes around, let me know. Type deal.
She was like, I'm not stalking you.
No, and she said she didn't have anything to say, but she did have something to say. She did share kind of her piece.
I felt her on that because I feel like this. If even up to this time I sent you a letter and you didn't read the letter, what good is it for me to say something now? Because you already made up your mind. You don't want to hear what I got to say. So right there, I would have been like, I ain't got nothing to say to him. He didn't want to hear what I had to say back then. Maybe if he had read the letter, then he would see. I ain't got nothing to say.
He told you he didn't want to talk to you when he didn't answer the phone or when he blocked you. Now I got it. She needed the healing to get it off her chest, and I'm not knocking the healing to write the letter and get off your chest. That's therapy. But if you never answered, he never read it, he already told you. He gave you all the signs that he didn't want to be with you. He gave you all the signs that, hey, this is not going to work out. This is not what I want. They seem a little bit cordial today in real time than it were.
This is my thing. Now, let me say this real quick on the letter. It's a letter. All that talk he was doing where I had to be rude, so she knew. Why you read the letter? I thought that was rude. Even if you don't respond to it, you could have said, I read it, but I chose not to respond because, again, I didn't want to give her any hope. But I read it.
He didn't read it. He probably tossed that in the trash. He probably don't even have it.
So how you explain that being rude when it comes to that?
It is being rude. When you write me a letter, I have the choice to either open it or not, or read it or not.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. How can you... His thing was I had to be rude in that moment, like to her face, so she knew I was being sick. So what was your reason for being rude? And like, and I'm not saying they're not responding, but like you didn't even read, you didn't even want to hear what
he didn't want.
Read what she had to say.
Again, he was hurt. He didn't want nothing from her.
That man wasn't hurt.
What you mean he wasn't hurt?
That man was not hurt.
Oh, what, men don't hurt?
I'm not saying.
You don't think he was hurt that his marriage failed? That he wasn't with the girl he said he loved or cared about?
It was not hurtful why he didn't read that letter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, he probably didn't care for her anymore. He lost. He was done. It was toxic anyway. So he was done. It was toxic. Well, nonetheless, they friends. The whole cast.
No, they ain't no friends.
The whole cast seemed like they friends.
They not friends.
They were not. She hugged him at the end of the show.
They not friends.
Okay.
They were cordial.
They were cordial.
In that moment.
If that man would say, Brittany, let's give it another shot.
No.
I think she would still try to give another shot.
No, she said that. She was like, no. Like, I'm still a hopeless romantic. And so the lesson I learned, I know what. Yeah. He won't.
No.
I'm not pressed about him.
Let's move on to Pat and Rhonda. Pat and Rhonda.
I was really okay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, what I'm about to say is relevant as we.
Go ahead.
Let's keep again. No fluff. Kevin at this point is just asking him straight up, "Are y'all still together?" And they were like, "No."
Pat was like, "No."
He was like, "No," and he went back to his thing that it was before. Like I had to choose me. But this is what I thought was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They lasted long. They lasted for 9 months, so they took it longer than I thought. I thought they would have or did before they split up.
Yeah, Rhonda said she had committed to giving it a year.
Mm-hmm.
She had committed to giving it a year to see if it was going to work out for a year. But Pat went on a solo trip to Europe, and while over in Europe, he comes back. It was all good the first day. Like the first couple hours, first day, it was all good. And
no, she said he gave me what I was looking for. He was listening. He's really on point with that. And she was like, it was like the best week that we've had, and the most fun, the best I felt in that space since our reception.
Right, and then Pat was looking for some sex.
This is what it boiled down to.
And what it was, and she wasn't meeting his sexual needs. And she was like, well, we had sex on the first night on the honeymoon, but then it started to dwindle. And her thing was, I didn't feel emotionally connected to him because of the things he wasn't listening, because of all the stuff. And I just didn't feel it. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, I got you. And I'm thinking she's 63, 59. Maybe she ain't feeling it like that. I mean,
no, it goes to, and we've had this conversation before. And Rhonda said it. She says, I got into this looking for a connection, and then with the connection, that the sexual part will happen organically. If I'm connected to you enough, I'm going to want to be with you. She said Pat's thing was, and when I said we had this conversation before, we talked about the difference between men and women when it comes to sexual. So Pat wanted the sexual, and he figured the connection would come from that way. Men and women are different when it comes like that. If a woman don't feel connected to you, she is not trying to have no sexual relations with you.
But she should communicate, and we've all, I think she
9 times out of 10.
Because
everybody's different. So
everybody's different. But she should. But it seemed like when she was explaining that to Pat, then he never heard that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my issue. How are you together 9 months?
Mm-hmm.
And he's not getting his sexual needs met. And this is the first time, in my opinion, first time he hears this conversation. Did you share that with him? Say, hey, this is what's going on. This is why we're not having, because of X, Y, Z. I don't feel. And he should be asking, well, what can I do to help you feel? Or what can I do to make you feel this way? Because there's some need. You see what I'm saying? It's a give and take. It's a communication. As I said earlier, they can't be Miss Cleo in this. you have to be able to communicate, accept the communication, and then work on the issue. Because when that doesn't happen, you have a man like Pat feel like, hey, man, my sexual needs ain't being met. This woman don't love me. She don't care about me. You know what? I'd rather not even be in this relationship because I'm not getting what I need out of it.
But I'm gonna go back to my comment that I made. At her, she's 63. How old was he? He was
59.
He was younger.
It's 59.
In your 59 years, sir, let's cut off some of those early years. So let's say in your 30 some, let's give them from 19. Mm-hmm. In your 40 some years, the point that I made in dealing with women, have you not, I feel like this is a lesson you should have learned and realize that women need an emotional connection to get most women. Let me say that again.
Mm-hmm. But in his 30-year marriage, that may not have been the case. And he might have had a wife that whenever he was like, whenever I need it, she gave it. So this is a man who been doing this for 30 years. He may not have had to work. I mean, put in that.
I get what you're saying.
Put in that work for it, because the thing with Rhonda was he no longer felt attracted. He felt like she was no longer attracted to him. And that was his biggest thing. I don't feel like you're attracted to me because you're not having sex with me. And I know what you're saying. He has to, as much more than attraction when it comes to women, is things that you got to do throughout the day. Sometimes as the comments. What for her was the listening. For her was, I need you to listen to me and be there for me and to have comfort me and to take care of me and show up. And then I will feel more apt to give you this or give you my body. So that was the issue with her.
If that was the case with his ex-wife, she did him a very big disservice.
Well, listen.
That's why, again, you got to have communication in your marriage, and yeah, and women, we have to get out of feeling like have an obligation to. It don't matter how I feel. I have to give my no. It do matter how you feel. If you feeling like I'm not feeling loved, but you steady because I gotta please my man sexually, and meanwhile you shriveling up because you're not getting what you need.
It's a give and take. It's a relationship. Yes. We're committing.
That.
Marriage is committing one to another, meeting each other's needs, right? Submitting one to another. So it has to
and
be.
That's an old school thing too.
It is.
Like I think about Miss Celia and Mister. He just get on top of me and do his business.
It has to be.
And meanwhile, he treats you like a kid. I mean, she was a kid compared to him, but
right.
But you know what I'm saying? Doormat.
It has to be done. Has to be done in a reciprocal situation and effect, right? You think that this older couple would know that, but they didn't, and it didn't work out. So, Rhonda and Pat are no longer. So we're 0-4.
Yeah, she said her problem. I do want to say this too. She said his insecurity was an issue.
Yeah, a lot of insecurity.
Yeah,
but it's not like she didn't perpetuate some of his insecurities. Right? She triggered some of his insecurities with the way that she spoke to him, the way that things transpired, the way that everything.
And this whole time I have not necessarily been on Rhonda's side.
I know, but it had to be on her way and her timing. And again, there's a point where you can break a guy. Mm-hmm. A woman can break a dude to a point of no return where he's like, you know what, I'm done.
And that's the point that he said too. He was like, I realized that I was going through this same cycle of, denying my feelings when it comes to like.
Yeah.
No, he wanted to be seen when it came to that too. Like
he got broke.
I couldn't be. Yeah.
She broke him, and he was like, I just don't want to do this no more. I can't be heard. I'm always not doing nothing right, and then you still ain't giving me no loving. What are we doing?
0-4.
So then we move on to Chad and Belynda, right?
Oh gosh.
Belynda said after the reunion, right? After the reunion, I mean, still after the reunion, after decision day, her and Chad was supposed to move out together. I think she was at his house.
Yeah, they were supposed to move in together.
And Chad had a cat, which we never saw the cat on.
And she said that.
Yeah,
he had a cat that you never really saw.
Never really saw. So the cat's in his chest, the dog barks, cat end up scratching his chest, and he says something to the dog. I don't know if he hits the dog, kicked the dog. He said something about her dog being undisciplined. They got into the argument over the dog. Untrained. Now, listen. I know people love animals. And I may even get some hate off of this. I know people love animals. But an animal is destroying your relationship because we talk about the dog sleeping in the bed. We're talking about the dog. You love that dog because we saw it earlier with Meghann and Derrek. What's her name? Zoe, whatever case may be, how she was mad. How do you love the dog more than you love the human being? I'm sorry. Maybe I don't get it. I don't understand it. Somebody to help me understand it. How do you love the animal more than you treat the animal better than you treat the human being? If you look what was going on. Yeah, that man said I was scared to tell the woman to get the dog out of the bed because I know how much he loved the dog.
Right, but in this instance, with the thing with the cat and dog, like Buddy boy start wilding.
He did. It triggered something.
He wild out.
But I also go back to the Denver season. Was it Denver? No, San Diego season when Newton got attacked. Right? So you love the dog more than you love the. You see what I'm saying? It becomes those type.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think this was I love my dog more than and she said it later. Her problem, and I'm jumping ahead. Her problem is how nasty and rude he could be, and just not cognizant of how you treat other people and speak to other people. That was her problem. How he reacted to her,
right?
How he reacted to production, and that's for her. She was like. It was I'll go back to what I said. I wonder how her ex-husband. She was like, it was feeling like that,
and she couldn't deal with it because he was rude. And some of that was his PTSD. I don't want to diagnose anybody, but I feel that there's some PTSD.
The man said he didn't go to. He said she wanted him to. There's what a sexual thing too. She wanted to connect with him sexually, but she was like, he never came to bed. And his thing was, remember, during the season, he said it was because the dog was in the bed. But on the reunion, he actually was more transparent and said, I really don't sleep.
I can't sleep.
I can't sleep. I sit up like all night. And if I go to sleep, it's very late and it's not for very long. Yeah. And she was like, and she added, and he be drinking. I go in there, come check on him. She was like, he just drinks and drinks and drinks. I have to go take the glass out his hand because he's sleeping. I think he gonna drop it and break it.
Yeah. So again, all that's going on, and so
that's how we surmised he got.
Yeah,
he's some PTSD.
She felt lonely in her own house.
Mm-hmm.
She felt lonely, felt like there was no companionship, there was no intimacy, and not just necessarily sex, but just straight up intimacy that she was missing. So they show an unseen footage, at a crawfish bowl, where Chad got nasty, but he was getting double teamed. This is where the mother and daughter situation worked because she was talking to Belynda. Jalyn got involved, and he talked to Jalyn, and she was like, kind of don't talk to my daughter like that situation. And he was getting double. He said, I'm not going to do this. He got triggered. He said, I'm not going to do this. Y'all take this thing off me. Get up out of here. I'm not going to do this. Which my hat's off to him saying he's not going to do this, not going to do this on camera. But they would ask him, this is where, and he said unseen footage, because this was where you normally would get the episode after decision day on Lifetime, where they would all get together and have a conversation. In which we didn't get that.
Man, he was not happy.
He was not
about
happy.
them. About them showing that footage either. He was not happy.
Oh yeah, you know, and then he wouldn't have it. Kevin, but he told Kevin, "You gonna shut up and let me speak."
Woo! Let me tell you something.
And Kevin was a true professional.
I gotta take it back. What your name said. When I tell you, I'd have been like, I don't know who you think you talking to, sir.
But
yes, Kevin was very professional. But I probably would not have.
But I think they understood that he had an issue, and they didn't want to perpetuate that, and they didn't want to invoke anything else out of him. So they was able to let me bring it down and let me not be the one who ignites that fire. Because I think he does have some issues that he need to take care of, or he might be taking care of them, but it's triggered him. He's triggered, and the cameras didn't help. My thing to chat was, what did you think this show was? Why did you sign up? Right, if you wanted to be in control, that's not what reality TV is. Did you watch the show before you signed up? Did you read the papers of what you signed? You knew they were going to be intrusive. You knew they were going to be in your space, going to be in your face. You knew they were going to be everywhere. And I guess people know, but they don't really know. Right, you know on paper, but when it was actually happened, you don't know.
And I'm trying to remember, did
AJ wasn't that bad?
Did Jalyn say that in that space on the reunion stage, or that's what she said when they were all met as a couple? She made that point. It was like, you know what you signed up for. You're gonna have your schedule's gonna have to change. Like you have to commit to not just the marriage, but the whole production process and everything. Like, basically, did you not know what you signed up for?
Right. So that was the biggest issue there. But again, Belynda and Chad not together. So we 0 for 4. And so then we move on to Derrek and Meghann. Heartbreaking here. All right.
Now, let me say this. He watched everything before I did.
Sure did.
But I told him, before we even got to Meghann and Derrek, I said, my eyes zoomed in. I was like, she didn't have, it's a year and a half later, so she could have had the baby. And they had, but I could tell from the way she came in there and then looking at her, I told him, I said, I think she had a miscarriage. And he was like, well, I'm going to confirm. I know you ain't watched it yet. So I'm going to confirm for you, yes, she did. Yeah. I knew it. I knew it.
So we found out that Derrek and Meghann had a miscarriage after decision day. And she revealed that after a significant argument, Derrek told her he no longer wanted to be in a relationship with her and moved out a week later. Now, we had the discussion that he was there just because of the baby. He kind of confirmed that on the reunion, that it was that because she was pregnant, that he we got to stay together. She had really changed and started to lock in my opinion, to him, to the things that he wanted. She was committed to trying to be this. Not that I'm saying Derrek the bad guy, but I think they would have been great parents. I think they would have been trying to make it work. I think they would have grew together. But I think when the baby was not born, and I think it affected them both ways, mentally. And like I said, our story is not any secret. We talk about it all the time. Miscarriages mess with you. It messes with your mind, your emotions, and feelings. And if you're not a strong enough guy on the back end of that miscarriage, and be there for the support that the woman needs or the comfort that she needs, it can really mess with relationships and marriages.
And then one thing he did say too, it was never really going to be a good time. Whenever he said it, it wasn't going to be a good time for him to say, I don't want to be in this. Because you can't be like, I don't want to tell her because she had a miscarriage. So how long do you not tell her because she had a miscarriage? Yeah.
Yeah, it just
it was still raw. It was still he was like, I wouldn't wish that on and like it was hard.
It is hard. I mean,
so I understand.
It's hard for both parties. It's more physically hard for the woman, but it's mentally hard for the man. Because you're dealing with a spouse, a person that you love who's gone through something, a child that you don't even know, a person who's going through things, and you begin to think in your own mind and your own emotions, what is it? Is it something that I could have did? Or I can't fix it. I can't change it. And sometimes the women just want you to be there, and want to hear. And so men are there for the women, but there's really nobody there for the man, because she didn't just lose a child; he lost one as well. So I think that was a psychological issue that they had to deal with, and she really was invested with this baby because she was happy. She was genuinely happy about having a child, but it didn't work out for them, and sad for both of them. But they said Derrek is dating. He said he'd been with somebody for 7 months, but they said they saw him on another dating site though. Yeah.
Yeah, Raya.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Don't know. I ain't been on it.
I was like, what's that?
What's that? Right. So don't know. But
he was like, I'm not on no app.
Not on app.
He was like,
okay.
No, I literally saw you.
Like it might have been an old profile picture. He never deleted it. Took it down once he got in this relationship. Right? But that's there. Meghann said she's dating, but it wasn't nothing serious. She's been out on some dates. So it seemed like they've healed. For those who don't know, the reunion was filmed this year on November 2nd. So it was filmed on November 2nd of this year, November 2nd of this year. So
like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, like a couple weeks ago, right? A couple weeks ago. So all this is real time. All this is real time. But that means we 0 for 5. 5 said yes on the decision day.
They broke okay. We had a married at first sight first with a couple coming to decision day pregnant. We had a married at first sight first. All 5 couples said yes.
All right, let me break that there. It's 5 couples because when in Chicago, all 4 said yes. Right? So that's why they're saying it's all 5 said yes. We never have had all 5 couples say yes. But there has been a season where all the couples said yes, which was Chicago, which later on Nate and Sheila separated, and I can't remember who else separated from that season. But
I think Ashley and Anthony
Anthony's still the only one left. So there was Chicago was the first season when all of them were still married. And then you had Let's Stay Married, and then you had this one here, 5 couples. So and that is where you're at. But overall thoughts on this season of Married at First Sight on Peacock, I liked it. I thought it was a little bit hard to review because you didn't do weekly because you had to really watch every episode, which we did, but we just didn't watch them at different times. So because you wanted to put videos out, but I like the format. I like them taking out all the fluff. I didn't need to see the fluff. I didn't need to see the parents' dinner after the reception. The honeymoons were good. I didn't need to see everybody's apartment. Didn't need to see what everybody had in their drawers. Didn't need to see the sex toys they had. I would like to see more of a counseling and therapy sessions with Dr. Pepper and them, but and then I didn't need to see them getting ready for decision day. I didn't need to see all that. I didn't need to see them leaving the night before for decision day. I thought the season ran pretty smooth. I like the format. I would like to have seen After Party, and I also would like to see the reunion talking to the experts on what they thought after all 5 couples said no.
I want y'all to leave your comment in the comment section. I feel like for old school, like from the beginning, Married at First Sight people, I'm gonna say from me being because I started watching Married at First Sight before my husband.
Yeah, you start season 1. We watched season 1 together. I stopped. We watched season 1 together. Yep. Because remember, dude was a wrestler, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. He's a pro wrestler." Yeah.
Right, but I feel like for me, I missed some of that extra stuff. I can appreciate that 50-some minute episode, but some of the other stuff I feel like we was missing. It really didn't. And I know they're participants. I missed some of that character development.
Okay.
I missed some of that character development, participant development.
I give you that. Hey, that's it, man. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification. Let us know what you thought about Married at First Sight season 19 episodes 1 through 14, I believe. Let us know what you thought, and we may come back and do a listen live or let you chime in live video so we can do it live. All right, talk to you guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for rocking with us, and again, share, hit the subscribe button, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.